still reviewing Punch.
Yes, I have a sad story. A woman, Salisu Aisha, and 7 others have been arrested in connection with the death of a yet-to-be-identified man in the Jora Badia area of Lagos State.
Wow.
So according to the Punch, they said on Wednesday, Aisha was celebrating her birthday when she invited some guests to join her in the celebration at Olayemi Street in Jora Badia. And they said while people were busy having fun during the celebration, they found the victim who was lying on the floor unconsciously while the event was still taking place. So they wanted to find out what happened, and they came close only for them to realize that the victim had a wound on his head. And according to an eyewitness who didn't want to be mentioned, said that they were having a party and then a fight broke out. And before they realized that somebody had died, the person just slumped and had an injury on the head. But I was curious to the fact that the party was still ongoing after that had happened.
Kidding me.
You know, so but the matter was, reported to the State Police Public Relations Officer when he was contacted. He said the incident happened about 9:10 p.m. April 6, 2024, and it was a concerned member of the community that reported the case to the police. So they have taken the celebrant, Salisu Aisha, and 7 others to police custody for questioning, and then the cops have been evacuated and deposited in the mainland hospital morgue, Yaba. Just to be informed.
Let me take EFCC. So EFCC said they have arrested over 200 suspects in connection with foreign exchange scams and manipulation of the financial markets. So these 200 persons were arrested across the nation. So they were interrogating them, and they were being interrogated by the investigators to determine the degrees and extent of their involvement in this scam. Most of them were arrested in Abuja, Lagos, Rivers, and Kano states. He said a third clampdown on the Forex scammers would also yield positive results in our markets very soon. Also, the raid of the road exchange operators is part of federal government's efforts to tame the free fall of the local currency. The government blamed the actions of speculators in the Forex market and digital markets for the significant depreciation of the naira. So they are working back to back to ensure that all these speculators are arrested.
Okay, so the House of Representatives on Wednesday urged the federal government to renovate and convert its abandoned buildings and forfeit land locally and abroad for public use. This resolution of the House was sequel to the adoption of a motion titled Call to Convert Abandoned and Seized Properties, including buildings and lands for public use. This, this motion was moved in the federal constituency of Edo State, where it was argued that some agencies are struggling to pay their rents, their office rents, and that most of these buildings are just lying there, wasting and rotting away.
Wow.
Yes. So they argued that asset recovery remains a powerful but underutilized tool against domestic and international corruption, noting that the Process of Crime Recovery and Management Act provides a robust legal framework for managing and recovering such proceeds. They also said that the reports also have revealed that over 50 assets confiscated from politically exposed persons, civil servants, and other individuals are currently unoccupied, and that they found out that, yes, and that in 2017, the federal government converted landed properties seized by the EFCC for office use, and this helped save the country 187 billion naira.
Wow.
That's a lot. So the House, following the adoption of the motion, referred it to the Committee of Public Assets for further legislative action.
Okay, moving on quickly now to Daily Sun. FG apologizes for hardship. Government to ban smoking, money rituals in Nigerian films. Chinese kills female worker in Abia. May 29th, government directs ministers, others to observe low-key anniversary. Policeman killed, 5 others injured as traders. Security agents clash in Jos Market. Rivers earmarks $10 million to revive the Songhai farm and others. Okay?
Okay, so this for entertainers and
so
movie
Kanayo,
so the federal government is set to enforce the prohibition of money rituals, ritual killings, smoking, and glamorizing of vices in Nigerian films. We have the Executive Director, CEO, National Film and Video Censors Board. He made this disclosure at a stakeholders engagement smoke-free meeting in Enugu. Smoke-free Nollywood is what it's called. Anyway, he says that this was something that had been, in the works for a while. that they had even met was former Minister of Information, Alhaji Mohammed, that, they had started this conversation with, and they had talked about the display of smoking during, in movies and glamorizing it. And he suggested the addition of the ritual killing, money rituals, and things like that. And so that they're happy to announce that, very soon we'll see the implementation of that. The Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, has approved this regulation. I don't know, I think it's part of our hot topic, so I won't go into it. But I was just saying to those that will be strippers and ex-strippers in movies, be careful. Be careful what you do.
All right, and last story.
Yes, so there's a clash between traders and security agents at the popular Terminus Market in Jos, Plateau State, and they said it left 1 policeman dead and 5 others seriously wounded. So according to the Daily Sun, they said the incident happened yesterday morning at the popular Terminus Market in Jos, North Local Government area, where security agents and task force have been, trying to clear the area of street trading in the past few weeks. Said the policemen were part of the task force clearing the market of illegal trading. Then officials of the Jos Metropolitan Development Board have also been engaged in clearing Jos City Center of illegal structures. Now, the Plateau State government had, given an executive order number 3, which had banned indiscriminate display of wares and goods entrance, and also heavy-duty goods and entrance of heavy-duty vehicles within the business area known as Greater Jos, just to ensure a free flow of traffic. And so while these officials had gone to, sort of enforce it, they had an altercation with the traders. Those ones went berserk and started fighting back. And so the police had released tear gas to try to disperse them. Then one of the policemen released, a bullet, just shot in the air. And that bullet landed on one of the officers. So he died instantly. And a few other people in the market were injured. So
very sad.
Yeah, very sad indeed.
So the federal government said they've apologized to Mariam, BC, Amaka, and the whole of Nigerians over the impact. Hopefully they apologize to me too. Over the impact of its policies, noting that notwithstanding the inflation, the currency problems that have hampered economic growth, is all already yielding results. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, stated this yesterday at a press conference yesterday, heralding the president's 1 year in office. When he was asked about the detrimental effects of the policies, he said, listen, renewed agenda is their focus and is the result of the reflections and analysis of the nation's past actions and the combined experiences of many stakeholders who supported the program. So he is saying that many countries we admire today have through this phase of tough decisions, hard times, that we just have to go through this season, and they're setting the foundation for bigger economic growth in future. So he's just saying that we should hang in there, and that they're sorry for the hardship, but it's a phase we have to go through painstakingly.
We're hanging.
We're
hanging.
Hey.
So
I hope we don't fall off.
Yes. So a Chinese man, Mr. Zen, who works with Inner Galaxy Steel Company, located in Okwa, West Local Government area of Abia State, has killed a Nigerian female worker of the company, Miss Ucheze Obona. A soldier also attached to the company was alleged to have shot and fatally wounded a youth from the area who was amongst those protesting the killing of the girl. It was said that Mr. Zen was working on the crane, and while the crane was still in motion, that he pushed the girl, and the girl fell down and hit her head. Yes, and she died instantly. And that we need to be careful, like maybe even fighting and stuff like that. Anything can happen, because she fell down and hit her head. And they also said that Mr. Zen, has been making love advances at the girl. Yeah, and then they don't know if because she has always rebuffed and refused his advances, whether that was why that happened. But then the members of her community, they came to protest at the company. The soldier attached to the company now released a bullet.
Again?
Yes, and no, he injured somebody. So the girl has been taken to a mortuary while the injured party has been taken to the hospital. The matter has been reported to the police, and then investigations are on the way.
Vanguard, our last paper this morning. Let's find a story we've not taken at all. Reps query contractors over abandoned projects after 85% payment. Currency crisis, UK vastly sends Nigerians packing. EFCC NBA move to tackle lawyers aiding criminals to launder illicit funds. Solution to bad governance in Africa is more democracy, says Tinubu. Okay.
EFCC and NBA they said they've entered into a partnership that would lead to identification, prosecution of lawyers that are assisting criminals to launder illicit funds through real estate, through the real estate sector. Anyway, EFCC and MBA are saying this is not, EFCC says the fight against financial crimes is not something that they can do alone. They need the MBA. The MBA also said that there are some lawyers that are quite aware, you know, of these criminally minded people and are involved in the business. It says now lawyers were supposed to sort of be like a check for the real estate business, but we now have lawyers involved in the business as well. And so it says that the MBA will be watching them, and for those who, you know, are approached to do this sort of business with people who they may suspect of, you know, having illicit funds, they can approach the MBA. The MBA would help them on how to deal with such transactions. But that, you know, government has pointed out the real estate sector and the banking sector as the two vulnerable sectors that are used for money laundering, and this is associated with financing of terrorism and all sorts of things. So they are hoping that this collaboration will really go a long way in curbing, you know, financial crime in that area.
So I have a story. The House of Representatives Committee on Niger Delta, handling the skill acquisition center at Iwo Achang in Ebeno local government area of Akwa Ibom State. The chairman of the committee issued a query at the investigative hearing on the abandoning skill acquisition center in Abuja. According to him, he said that it was ridiculous that the project was yet to be completed after contractors were paid 85%. As a contractor that has been paid that much, you were supposed to have completed that project. You know the reason why you have not. We will not allow the project to die that way. So, I mean, this is just wickedness. When government pays you 85% to complete a job and you don't do, and it's abandoned. The walls have even broken, according to the report. Said there was, the walls they made had broken. So it's like you just take things for granted in this country. You feel like nobody's going to ask. Government is sleeping. Now, when government decides to wake up, running health scouts. Unfortunately, that's all we can take on Front Page Review today. Today's Thursday. In return, we have so many topics to talk about. Stay with us. We'll be right
back. Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.